Hey guys, this is Ronald, and I'm here to redo a video on your ToB setups on how to upgrade from Void into Bandos Ancestral. The reason I'm redoing it is because I didn't like how my voice was. It was late at night, so I didn't get to really express myself. And also because it wasn't very detailed and concise, or it might have been more intermediate focused rather than beginner friendly. So first things first, the reason why most beginners or intermediate players have been sticking to Void is because it makes switching at the Nightlight boss super simple. And if you don't know what pre-switching is, I will explain in a second, but I'll show you that pre-switching can be done with the Void and Ancestral just as well. You just have to apply it a little bit differently. So pre-switching is when you're getting your last hit and you want to be putting on your gear first rather than prayer first. And often when I teach ToB, I'll actually tell people overheads first, weapon second, and people will just do neat little one-way switches. Well, when you want to maximize your DPS and you're already comfortable, you actually want to do gear first, overhead, and then camp. Overhead and offensive prayer, of course. And you want to camp this prayer window in case you were incorrect, and the only time you're incorrect is if it goes into Mage. The pre-switch order is here on the bottom left, so if the boss is melee, I'll be switching into the ranged gear. If the boss is ranged and I'm getting in my last ToB hit or blowpipe hit, whatever you have, you want to put on your melee gear, just like that. And if you were wrong and the boss chose Mage instead, you go here. The only reason you're switching into these and not ever pre-switching into Mage is because Mage has the lowest max hits, and it's very easy to get both your Mage hits even if you mess up the ticks. Whereas it's not as easy to get both your scythe hits or both your ToB hits or whatever your attack pattern is going to be. Anyway, pre-switching is very easy to avoid. You just do a neat little four-way. And let's say you're going from ranged into melee. Well, beginners might do this four-way, hit them once of it, put on Bandos for the second one, hit them once of that, and then put this Void melee back on, then the Void range back on. Inventory is nice and organized. Pretty easy system, and I'll show you how you can basically upgrade this system to first save yourself an inventory slot, and that is you put your Serpentine helm or Nada's Knot face guard, whatever you have, where that Void melee helm was, then smack it. And that's step one, because now when you want to switch into range to melee, you have this little weird setup going on. This is actually almost the same amount of max hits as the previous Void melee setup. Since the boss is low defense, max hits are all that matters there. You don't really need to care about accuracy. And if you want, you could even try slapping these on for your second hit, and it's pretty much the same thing as before. The only difference being you have now saved yourself an inventory slot. So that's step one. All you need to do is move that just over there. There's not really any difference. If you're hitting in full Bandos, however, just note that after your second scythe, as it's swinging, right after you get the XP drop, pre-switch this top, bottom, and gloves, and you have all you need to worry about will be these little neat four ways. Just again, pretty neat, I would say myself. So let's go to step two, and that's to upgrade the Mage setup, and this will let you hybrid better, because if you are, let's say, the melee role at Nightlight, you'll be wearing something like this. Let's grab a Swift Blade, because a lot of players like to use the Swift Blade now, or maybe you haven't, but Swift Blade hits every 3 ticks. And hybriding in the setup is pretty nasty. You have -9 with the Avernick. If you even go out of your way to equip Void Knight gloves, it's still only +7. Your magic damage is only 12%. It's not going to get any better than that. With this setup, at least. So let's upgrade this setup into Ancestral, because let's say Tormented Bracelet, Ancestral Top. Tormented Bracelet offers a very nice damage bonus. This has a very high accuracy bonus to Ancestral Top. If you hybrid in this setup, because that's Tormented Bracelet, it takes off these horrifying Ferocious gloves. These guys have negative a billion. You now have 17% damage and 48 magic accuracy, not percent. So this is a much better hybrid, and it has, I believe, +1 max hit, maybe +2, I don't know, whatever it was. But regardless, this is just objectively better as a four-way for damage. For accuracy, I wouldn't really do this unless you're going to incorporate more ancestral switches. I will get to that in a moment. But for now, let's worry about the Nihilakist boss. So how would you use Ancestral and Void Mage? Well, what I would do is keep this corresponding switch concept and adapt it to your mage instead. So these are the most impactful mage switches: the top, gloves, amulet, and staff. So first, let's do the same thing. Well, let's move this mage to the right. All right. So let's do top on the top left, gloves on the top right, and then the rest is the same: amulet bottom left and weapon bottom right. I like to do my things vertically, remember, as I said before, so I'll read them so you guys can see how to do a horizontal one just after this. And what you want to do is follow that pre-switch order as gospel. When you are switching from melee to ranged, pre-switch these bottom three, then these four. If you're wrong, you just go back like this. And when you're going from mage to range, you just need to do this four-way again. Nice and simple. And the advantage of using this mage switch is also that your little four-way melee here is actually more efficient than before, because instead of using a helmet and cape, you're now using top and gloves. Top and gloves give you top glove amulet. Weapon gives you 116 melee strength, whereas before, if you're using this four-way switch that I showed you before, your melee strength is 111. So this is actually a little bit better. Go away. And it works the same way, as long as you get that corresponding switch order. And one neat little thing is that if you move your spec weapon somewhere down here, or just anywhere below all of this stuff, then arcane, blowpipe, defenders, all that kind of stuff goes into a nice slot on these 5. If you want to upgrade this setup, if you want to make Ancestral objectively better for freezing and for Nihilakist, you need to bring bottoms and cape. If you want to go further, you can bring the hat. So let's just bring all 3 just for demonstration purposes. Let's first copy the corresponding switch order and apply it to a larger switch than a 4-way. Let's move the tassets up here. Let's move the cape up here. And what I would do is move the bottoms just the same way. Okay. Move the mage cape just the same way. So these switches are completely matching. And let's move the helmet here. And you still have these 2 slots here for weapons and whatever. And now you can do pre-switch orders like this. And let's say it goes to range. And you were wrong, it goes to mage. You can get in your second hit like this. The next one is range, so let's do this. You're wrong, it goes to melee. Do these 4. And it stays nice and organized as long as you always never touch these, or you always use them correctly. If you mess up and let's say these 3 end up switched, you might have a little bit of a problem. You just need to pay attention to which 3 you're doing first and then which 4 over here. But regardless, you're still doing 3 ways and 4 ways, and you can always revert to just doing 4 ways if you get stuck with wood range on. That's pretty much it for how to upgrade. Oh, I needed to show you how to use horizontal setups. So keep the corresponding switch concept, but just move them down here. And you'll see that it works literally just the same way. So if I want to switch into melee, I'll go like this. On the second scythe hit, you can apply these 3, or if you're fast on the first, on all 4. Sorry, the full 7-way. Going from here to range, I'll do second scythe hit, switch. And if it's wrong, I'll do first hit like that. Second hit like that. Go into range. If I was wrong, and it wasn't range, because unlucky, it just keeps getting wrong, do these 4 first. And then do that. Note that if you actually drag something like this incorrectly, just make sure you keep that corresponding setup and rematch them like that, so it looks kind of nice for yourself. If you don't like how this looks, you can just rearrange the orders, so you can go like whatever. And then, but I don't know, I like how this looks, so that's how I'm going to be doing it. I hope that helped some of you guys, and really upgrade your setups because it'll make you a better player at the game. You'll have more food, and everything about every raid will just go much better. Good luck, guys.